Good afternoon, everyone, especially to you, sir. Good afternoon. Today's lesson will focus on pedagogical implications and considerations that will be helpful for teaching literature to improve the learner's capacity to understand, to learn from, and to enjoy literary works. For this lesson, this will be our learning targets. Discuss pedagogical implications for teaching literature. Explain children's literature and some pedagogical implications, and innovate ways to teach and learn literature. Change is constant. To effectively teach literature and help students understand, to learn from, and to enjoy it, teacher must adopt their pedagogy. Long here believes that effective literature teaching requires active student engagement. He points out that if a student just sit and listen, learning becomes boring. He emphasizes the importance of student responses, even negative ones, as they demonstrate active thinking and can lead to an exciting classroom discussions. While on another hand, Rosenblatt believed that reading is a personal experience, and each one of us brings our own feelings and background to a text, making our understanding to a same text different. She called this as a transaction with the literary text. She uses the term transaction because it's like a conversation between the reader and the text. The reader brings their own thoughts and feelings, and then the text shapes those thoughts and feelings. Like other experts, Rosenblatt encouraged teachers to let students share their own thoughts and make connections between the story and their own lives. She believed that this type of approach would help students to enjoy reading more. The question now is that what then are the pedagogical implications for teaching literature? Well, the answer to this is to know what children's literature is. To effectively teach literature, educators must first understand what makes children's literature special. It means knowing what a text children like and which texts are suitable for specific children. You cannot teach them effectively unless you know their interest and what type of literature is appropriate for them. Othen says that children's literature comes from the writer's imagination. These ideas are shaped by how a writer sees and interacts with children, and also how they think childhood should be. On the other hand, according to Lafrado, children's literature includes a variety of writing or a wide range of ages, from very young children all the way up to the teenagers or those approaching maturity and adulthood. These are the genre within children's literature. First is picture books. These books primarily use pictures to tell a story. With a minimal text, they focus on visual storytelling, and this is suitable for my young children. This is an example of picture books. Next is storybooks. These have a balance of text and pictures. The story is the focus with illustrations enhancing the narrative. And this is an example of storybook titled Never Steal. Next is traditional literature. These are stories passed down through generations, like folk tales and legends. In the Philippines, it's called alamat, like Ibong Adarna, si Malakas at si Maganda, and ang alamat ng Lanzones. Next is historical fictions. These stories blend real historical events and people with like mga fictional elements. They offer a glimpse into the past while allowing for a creative storytelling. And an example for this is Noli Me Tangere and File Bosteris. Next is modern fantasy. These stories feature imaginative elements like talking animals, magic, and mythical creatures. Next is realistic fiction. These stories depict everyday situations and experiences that children can relate to, even though they are fictional. Next is nonfiction. These books provide information on various topics like science, history, and also nature. They help children to learn about the world around us. Next is geography. These tell the true stories of a real people, inspiring children to learn from their lives and achievements. Next is children poetry. This use creative language and rhythm to express emotions and spark imaginations. And next is children's drama. These stories are designed to be performed involving a dialogue, action, and also a stagecraft. Take note that literature serves to motivate and educate. That's why Northon believes that literature provides a lot of benefits for young people. First, he believes that literature provides learners a chance to respond accordingly and appropriately. And by this, it will help the learners to be a bit better thinkers. Number two, literatures about different people and places helps the learners to learn about other culture. Number three, literature deals with different emotions, helps students to develop an emotional intelligence. Number four, literature provides opportunities to explore social issues and understand relationship. Number five, literature plays a crucial role in preserving our history. Another question is, what makes a children's literature apart from adult literature? Well, a children's literature is a class on its own, with its own brand of writing style and characteristic that set it apart from adult literature. Now let's talk about pedagogy. Well, according to Peel, pedagogy is all about the methods a teacher uses. These are the general strategies. First is scaffolding. Scaffolding works in a way that teachers offer students a lot of help at first, and then gradually take it away until students can do the work on their own. Modeling. When a teacher reads a book, they think out aloud and share their ideas. Cooperative learning. Students work together in small groups, and then they do challenging tasks, independent reading. Students read books on their own. This helps them to become better readers. Next is literary response. Students show what they learned from a book by doing something creative. Now, there's some advice from our national artist, F. Chanel Jose. Future educators, I encourage all of us to always remember this advice when teaching literature. Remember that teaching should be enjoyable and not a torture for our learners.